Gentlemen, today we're going to talk about something most people pretend doesn't exist. Not positive vibes, not motivational quotes. The quiet mechanics underneath human behavior. 7 dark psychology tricks to read anyone instantly. And before we begin, a line must be drawn. This video is for awareness and self-protection, not manipulation. If you use these tools to exploit people, you won't become powerful, you'll become poisonous. The point is to see clearly, set boundaries, and stop being naive. Because the world is full of smiles that are strategies. These aren't magic tricks, they're patterns. And once you learn them, you'll start noticing the same signals everywhere. At work, in dating, in friendships, in negotiations. Let's begin. 1. The baseline test, the foundation of mind reading. Most people misread body language because they look for universal signs. There aren't universal signs. There are baseline changes. A person's behavior only becomes meaningful when you compare it to how they act when they feel safe. So your first job is simple. Get a baseline. How fast do they speak normally? How much do they gesture? How close do they stand? How much eye contact do they naturally use? Then you apply mild pressure. A direct question, a sensitive topic, a small disagreement. You're not hunting lies. You're watching for shifts. Voice goes tighter, breathing changes, posture closes hands, disappear, speech gets strangely formal. The baseline is the control group. Without it, you're guessing. 2. The comfort versus control signal. Who is managing the interaction? Here's a dark truth. In many conversations, one person is trying to connect, and the other is trying to control. Connection looks like relaxed shoulders, natural pauses, reciprocal questions, willingness to clarify. Control often looks calm too, but it's a different calm. It's a calm that steers. Watch for these behaviors. They answer your question with a question to regain power. They ignore what you said and continue their script. They summarize your point in a distorted way. They push for fast agreement. They use certainty where uncertainty would be normal. A controlling person doesn't always raise their voice. Often they lower it. They want you leaning in. 3. The feet don't lie rule. Attention reveals intent. People learn to control their face. Some learn to control their voice. But most people don't manage their feet. Feet point where the mind wants to go. If someone is smiling, nodding, saying, "Yeah, totally," but their feet are angled away, their body is already leaving. They may be polite, yet disengaged. In groups, watch who someone's feet point toward. That's who they respect, who they're aligned with, who they're tracking. And watch what happens when a certain name is mentioned. A subtle foot shift can reveal tension, avoidance, attraction, rivalry. This is not about paranoia, it's about clarity. People show you where they are if you stop staring only at their words. 4. Micro reactions to boundaries. This one exposes character fast. If you want to read someone instantly, don't ask them about their values. Give them a small boundary. Nothing dramatic. Something clean. "I can't do that today. I'm not comfortable with that. I'll think about it and get back to you." No. Then watch the micro reaction. A healthy person may be disappointed, but they stay respectful. They adapt. A manipulative person reacts differently. Often in one of 4 ways. Guilt. "Wow, I guess I'm asking too much." Anger. Sudden coldness, irritation, punishment, pressure. "It's not a big deal, just do it." Charm. Extra sweetness to bypass your no. This is one of the fastest character tests on earth. Because boundaries don't just protect your time. They reveal who benefits when you have none. 5. The too fast. Vulnerability trap. Forced intimacy is a strategy. Be careful with people who try to build intimacy at unnatural speed. It can feel flattering. Intense compliments early. I've never told anyone this. I feel like I've known you forever. Big promises too soon. Sometimes it's genuine, but often it's a hook. Forced intimacy is used to create emotional debt. After all I shared, loyalty before trust is earned confusion between intensity and safety. Here's the read. If the closeness grows faster than the evidence, slow down. A stable person respects pacing. A strategic person resents it. 6. Cognitive load leaks. Stress reveals what they're hiding. When someone is carrying a secret, lying, hiding, or performing, there's mental load. That load leaks through small glitches. Over-explaining simple questions, repeating your question before answering using unnecessary details to sound credible, delayed responses to basic things, sudden memory fog, on key points rigid, overly polished phrasing. Again, this is not a lie detector. Some people are anxious, so you combine it with trick number 1, baseline. If they're usually smooth and relaxed, but suddenly become mechanical and overly detailed when you ask about one area, that area matters. The mind is doing extra work, and extra work leaves fingerprints. 7. The consistency check. Words versus patterns. This is the final rule, and it's the one that keeps you safe. Most people are hypnotized by words. The mature man watches patterns. So ask yourself, do their actions match their identity claims? Do they treat waiters, co-workers, strangers with respect, or only people they want something from? Are they consistent across environments, or do they become a different person depending on the audience? A person's real self is what repeats under pressure. Anyone can speak like a disciplined man for 5 minutes, but patterns don't lie. If someone repeatedly breaks small promises, shifts blame, misunderstands, your boundaries, disappears, and returns when convenient, then you're not dealing with a mistake. You're dealing with a system. And your job is not to fix their system. Your job is to see it and respond with clarity. How to practice without becoming paranoid. Now, do not leave this video and start interrogating everyone. That's insecurity. Instead, practice like a disciplined observer. For the next 7 days, establish baseline first. Watch for one shift under mild pressure. Test one small boundary track patterns, not promises. You're training perception, not suspicion. Because the goal isn't to read minds. The goal is to stop being blind. Most men don't get betrayed because they're stupid. They get betrayed because they ignore signals they already saw. They sense the inconsistency. They felt the pressure. They noticed the charm spike after a boundary. But they doubted themselves. This is your permission to trust reality. If you want, I'll make part 2. 7. Dark psychology, red flags you should never ignore. And for now, write in the comments. Which one hit closest? Baseline, boundaries, or forced intimacy?